Healthy Lifestyle Crib presents. Take little steps to transform your life. Most people have a difference between who they are and who they want to be. There are small things you think you should do and big goals you think you should reach. You could go to the gym more often, eat better, learn a new language, work on your novel, read more, or just do your hobby instead of checking Facebook. But there are moments when it feels as though you need to transform into a whole different person in order to reach your objectives. Someone who is consistent, puts forth more effort, and has discipline and willpower. You may have done everything you could to be like that. That works a while. Until you find yourself going back to the way you used to do things. You always appear to fall short in the end. And every time you fail, you get more and more angry and frustrated with yourself. If you believe that success and hustle internet, it's all your fault if you fail. If you don't succeed, it's because you didn't want it enough. It's hard to change, and, like most things in life, knowing why helps make things easier. The jungle. Picture your brain as a dense forest. Moving through it, say to make a decision about what to do, is like moving through an actual jungle. It takes effort. Your brain doesn't like using energy, so it came up with a trick. Every action and behavior you do leaves a path in the jungle of your brain. As you start doing something, you step on some plants and make rough, improvised paths through the undergrowth. The trail becomes more visible as you do it more regularly. Through time, it becomes an easier path and becomes a street. When you do something over and over again for years, the street becomes a motorway. After some time, navigating it feels natural and easy. The clearer your brain highways are, the more comfortable they become. So we keep using them, which means we tend to keep doing the same things we've always done. This is why it's hard to make changes, especially when you're an adult and your jungle already has a lot of streets and highways. To figure out how these highways are built, we need to tell the difference between two things. Habits and regular behaviors. Your activities, routines and habits. A routine is a series of actions that you do the same way every time because they work well for you. For example, you buy the same ingredients for your favorite dish and cook them in a certain order because you like the taste of the result. Alternatively, you might set an alarm for 6:30 in the morning before going to bed because that's when you want to wake up. Imagine how a smart planner would handle routines. Slow and analytical, it strategizes and mentally calculates. The planner is aware of the future and carefully evaluates the type of outcome you desire. On the basis of this, it selects activities to attain particular outcomes, even if those actions are unpleasant, such as taking a shower immediately after getting out of bed. Routines can turn into habits, which feel much easier because they are just a series of actions that you do without thinking about them. You've done things so many times that your brain finds them rewarding and an excellent response to a problem. So having a habit can make you feel like you're operating automatically. Something that is a habit is something you just do without having to convince yourself to do it. Habits are triggered by context signals, which can be single things or full scenarios, that tell your brain to start the behavior or action. You probably already have quite a few triggers in your life, such as the habit of automatically unlocking your phone whenever you see it. Likewise, when you get into a car, you immediately go to fasten your safety belt. Maybe, even if you are not genuinely hungry, you purchase a biscuit along with your coffee before going to work. A toddler's actions are governed by his impulsive nature. It reacts to your immediate needs. Focus on what you see, without taking any longer-term objectives into account. The toddler has no concept of the future and dislikes hard effort. So when it detects a trigger, it guides you down a familiar, pleasant path in your brain. Toddlers are generally predictable. If you get coffee, they'll want the biscuit too, because that's what you do every day. Most of your bad habits started because something made you feel good. For example, chocolate tastes good, and sometimes looking at Facebook is mildly entertaining. This is why you continue to do these things, even if they are unhealthy for you. When an action makes you feel good, you want to do it again, and a bad habit is born. While the toddler sounds like a built-in sabotage device, it is as necessary as the wise planner and actually works together most of the time. For big ideas, parallel parking, and doing your taxes, you need your wise planner. But, allowing your astute planner to take care of everything would require an excessive amount of effort. By handing over simple, repetitive tasks to habits, which are managed by the toddler, your brain can easily take care of your daily life while also dealing with more difficult mental challenges. So, if we want to make a change and start doing something different, we can use these ways to save energy to make it easier. We shall be paying attention to the details, rather than the larger picture. It is more preferable to make some minor adjustments to improve your life rather than setting lofty goals but making no progress towards achieving them. Even though small changes can make a big difference over months and years. How to create habits. To make change simpler, you may need to convince your brain that it's not a huge deal. By coming up with new ways to do things and making them into habits. You want your smart planner to make that first trail, and then you want your toddler to help you easily start the action. Let's say you want to exercise to get in better shape, which is a very common goal. The first step is to break this pretty vague goal down into clear, separate steps. The idea is to make each step as easy as possible, small enough to be doable and specific enough that you don't have to think about it too much. A concrete, manageable action might be anything like performing 10 squats every morning. So you can start by trying to construct a routine but already include clear triggers that the toddler can take up later. Remember that a trigger is just a sign that you always think of when you want to do something. These can be visual cues, such as seeing a certain object, such as your exercise attire. Or a certain time of day, or a certain place, like a nearby park, or, even better, all of these things at the same time. The most crucial thing is that you always begin acting in a particular setting. This is the start button that will eventually cause the action to happen on its own. To start a home workout routine with 10 squats, do them in your living room at 8 a.m. with your workout clothes on. Once you know what makes you do something, all you have to do is do it often, ideally every day. If you persist, they will transform from a routine to a habit, from a path to a motorway. Don't get me wrong, you'll still need energy to do the squats, but choosing to do them will feel less like a chore and more like a normal part of your day. This is simple, yet it's not simple. Unlike Facebook, many habits take time to form. Make your new action fun so the toddler is more likely to repeat it and learn it. Not necessarily through rewarding yourself afterward, but by making the deed or behavior itself more joyful. For example, only listening to your favorite podcast while working out, or doing your taxes while waiting for civilization to load the next round. You must discover what works best for you. Simple but frustrating. Like most opportunities to improve your life, there is a wide range of possible timelines for when your toddler will take charge and develop a routine. It depends on your personality, stress level, and the behavior you're trying to adopt. It can take anywhere from 15 to 250 days for a trigger to make a new habit happen automatically. You have no idea how much time it will take you. Starting up is the easy part, especially in the first week or two. The hardest part is to keep doing it every day, but it does get simpler as you keep going. There are no magic bullets for bringing about transformation, but the science of habits shows that it is possible for anyone, young or old. Success still exists even if all you manage to accomplish is a few new or slightly more positive things. Being a little bit healthier or smarter is a million times better than being unhappy about something and doing nothing about it. In the end, change is a path, not a destination. We trust that you now have some perspective and motivation after reading this. Having said that, we, like everyone else, struggle with change. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.